Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we are going to rate SummerSlam 2024. It just was when this video comes out yesterday. I'm doing this probably 1 hour past when the matches came or to a head. I wanted to watch the pre-show or the after show and all that, so we're gonna jump into it. This was a crazy SummerSlam. I feel like we had so many story threads going into SummerSlam that when we're coming out of it, it's building on to more things, and that's exactly what I think SummerSlam is known for. And let's just jump right into it. So we got Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the women's world heavyweight title. The match overall, I think, was a pretty solid match. I probably would put the match around like a B. I feel like Rhea was coming back. Liv was, obviously like hasn't had the like almost like legitimate title defense. Like she faced Becky once, that was pretty much what she's only had, and like I think one against Selena Vega. So she hasn't really had much to like show off as a champion. Overall, the match was, I think, a pretty solid match, and the ending with Dom finally turning on Rhea was great. I'm gonna put it overall. I'm gonna still put it in B. I feel like you can't really just add that last part to change it. I think the match itself was just overall kind of just a solid match. I mean, a B in this type of PLE is perfect, especially for an opener. I thought it was great. I personally loved how it ended. I think how most of these matches really had good endings, so I think that really helped out. Next up for the Intercontinental title, we had Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. It was actually a really fast match. I kind of like was surprised. I think Braun had some really good offense, but it feels like Sami just barely was there. I think overall it was still a great decision to have Braun Breaker get the championship. I think personally it was my least favorite match so far. I'd put it in C. I don't think the match was like to write home about. I think it was definitely felt more of a squash match, which I kind of felt that's what they needed to build up Braun. So I think it was what it solved, and I think we'll have like either a rematch or like a triple threat or something big that Sammy might not be fully gone, but Sammy also could possibly be going to like work on other stuff. So that'd be interesting too. So I think it was a C match. It was still pretty solid. Definitely my least favorite so far, which is only 2 matches in. But as we go along, I think you'll see the tone of a lot of how I'm rating the matches and stuff. Next up, you got Bayley versus Nia Jax. Overall, I think this match was still kind of like just middle of the road until that power bomb that like uh, Bayley picked up, Nia, and had her up in the air for a long time and slammed her down. That was beautiful. I think with Tiffany with the fake cash in, I'm pretty sure it was fake. Was perfect, and it definitely added to the heightened thing. I'll put it in B. I think it was still a great match. Definitely was exactly how it was supposed to happen. Again, another ending. I think that works perfectly to the story and stuff. So yeah, we go right into that. Next up, we got Logan Paul and LA Knight for the U.S. title. Uh, Logan Paul definitely needed to lose this from outside stuff on, I'm not going into too much of that type of stuff, but like he definitely needed to be stripped of the title, and I feel like he definitely did at least get to show off his skill in the match. LA Knight looked really good. He looked like he was pretty dominant in certain spots, even with the deck stack against him with all his outside stuff like Machine Gun Kelly and the brass knuckles and all that. I think always this kind of takes away for Logan Paul matches to me. Like, we know Logan Paul is a sniping heel and all that type of stuff, but like I don't feel like he needs it. Like he could have like a little bit of interference, but like having the knuckles 24/7, I don't know. I'm not. I kind of was overplayed by that, but I think overall it was pretty solid. I'll put it in B. I don't think it was too bad at all. Good title match. Great that LA Knight won. So I think definitely the good result there. And then we finally get to see what LA Knight can do as a champion and see if his like everything that he's about does it hold when he's actually a champion, and if not, we'll see how long it lasts. Next up, we had the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee. I feel like when you really look on it, it didn't really matter to have Seth Rollins there. Like he had a couple good spots, he had some really good comedy bits in the back. Like that part, I would definitely want in the match. But did we really need him in there? I mean, I feel like most people kind of thought that ahead of time. But like even when we came down to it, I feel like they were still going to do something, like just have something work out with it to make it like, oh yeah, definitely we need this. But I don't think it really needed it. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments how you felt about it. I think it definitely took away a little bit from the match in general, but I don't think it like ruined the match. I think overall the match was pretty solid. CM Punk looked pretty solid out there. I feel like the only problems I would say, like, to keep it out of like a like super high tier, would be that I feel like his go to sleeps were pretty weak. But I think overall the match flow and everything going on it was a pretty solid A. I mean, I thought it was, as you can see, it was later in the card. It was perfect there. The build up to it, everything was great. I feel like the only thing I would have probably just, maybe just get rid of Seth in it. I know they're going to build up a bigger story that probably have them go after each other as a triple threat, and I'm fine with that. I really do, but I don't think we really needed that here unless we just made it a triple threat originally, or I don't know. I feel like there's just something missed here that they could have done differently. Next up, I'll go with the R-Truth and Miz State segment. They had this on this list. I guess it was pretty important to a certain extent. Like, A-Town Down Under comes out there, insults them, insults Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll attacks them. I think overall it was okay. I don't think it was anything too crazy. I mean, it's just R-Truth. Any extra R-Truth we get, anything like that, I think it was fine. It was definitely fine to put on the show. I definitely, I definitely don't think they should have cut it. Like that would be like at the D. I just think, yeah, it was good. Nothing too crazy. Then we had Damian Priest versus Gunther. To an understated statement, I'm going to say, is that this was definitely Damian Priest's best match that he's probably had all the way till back when he had the match with Bad Bunny at Backlash last year. Or, yeah, the second to last. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been that long. But, I mean, like, Damian Priest has been solid, but his last two title defenses have been messy. We obviously saw just a lot of good back and forth. They put in some great offense, and I think with Damian Priest busting open Gunther just made even, like, it just feel better. Like, I don't think it was on purpose. I mean, he had like this sore there anyway, so it was gonna maybe bust open no matter what. But having that little element of blood and just having the way that they were going back and forth was just amazing. And then we got Finn Balor turning on him at the very end, which, like, it was just cool. And they've been playing on that whole him turning on him with having like the devil, like the Finn Balor's devil gear getting closer and closer to Finn. Like, he knew he was gonna turn on somebody. I liked everything that they did with this storyline, and obviously we already had the Judgment Day already in turmoil with the Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan thing, so it kind of gives Damian Priest the out that, like, he was very distracted going in there, but I think he really put in some good work. If we would have saw this the last two title reigns, I wouldn't have really wanted him to lose here. And even when we got the Finn Balor, turn on him, I was like, man, now I want to switch. I really want Priest to retain so they can have a title match very soon, something like that. Because I feel like the title would also elevate that rivalry, which I think the rivalry will still be really good at Bash for Berlin if that's a match they decide to do. But at the moment, I feel like that this match was the best one on the card. S tier for sure. Just a really good, solid match. Everything about it was really good. Both competitors did amazing. Gunther showed how dominant he is, but it still gave Damian Priest a really good send off for the title. And maybe I'll do if anybody, any of the people on the list here that lost their title, if you guys want me to do maybe like a title reign review of it, I could totally do that. But at the moment, I think that's the best way of doing it. It was a solid match, man. It was just really good. Next up, we have Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes. This match had a lot of good build-up. We knew the Bloodline was going to be involved because it was Bloodline rules. I think this first part of the match will kind of like go match like piece by piece. First part with him just in Solo was really solid. There was good back and forth. It made Solo look legitimately scary, and like the way that Cody can pull from that 2 count where it's almost at 3 is like chef's kiss. He really just had those close calls that you were just like, holy crap, like could there be a possibility? And then obviously we get to the next part with the Bloodline coming, and then Kevin and Randy. Now, I would have probably wanted some other different people to come down, but I think it was still pretty decent. Tongaloa messed up throw into the corner. I don't know. He's been having so many issues that I think he just needs to take a second, take a breather, and go in there because it's looking rough. And then we go right into the final part where it's just them two. Jacob comes, really starts taking out Cody, and it looks very grim. And then Roman Reigns comes and puts down Solo, which was a great return. I think overall, if you just put all of those aspects together, it was an S tier match. It's just cinema spread out great. I would honestly, the only thing I would switch from it is just like the interference with like having Kevin and Sammy coming down, or Kevin and Randy. Like I kind of thought like they could come down, get taken out by the Bloodline, and like they take each other out. Then the Bloodline eventually comes back, and then Roman could have came back with Jimmy and Paul Heyman, and I don't know. There could have been something there, but I think maybe all those pieces didn't line up because maybe Jimmy's still not healthy. Maybe they didn't want to do that until they get to the next PLE. Either way, I think it's still an S tier match, and I think it was another great Cody defense of his title. Again, mixed bag with the rest of the card. I think like all together, like when you think about like there was just so many good stories that like everything just felt so heightened here, and every match here deserved to be on the card. And there was so many matches outside that could have made it also on the card. That's how great the storytelling is right now. And we might have a lot of different moving pieces, but yeah, now Cody becomes the longest reigning champion of everybody here because Bailey got knocked off, Damian Priest got knocked off, Logan Paul got knocked off, all the people that already had the titles for longer. So we got fresh champions with Braun Breaker and LA Knight and Gunther. So we have three brand new champions on top of, or Nia Jax, sorry, Nia also, four new champions. And then having, Liv retain and put some weight under her belt. And then Cody, obviously, just continuing his, crusade against the Bloodline. So I'm really excited to see what SmackDown and Raw has because there's going to be a lot of stuff and a lot of good time being taken up by these amazing stories. So it'd be cool. And if you guys, want to see anything else and want to comment below what your favorite match was, what your worst match was, whatever you want to comment, just comment below. And I shall see you guys next time. Bye, guys.